Today's top stories at NBR. The government may need Pfizer to over-deliver on vaccines. Sky TV scales Meridian and Sky City results. Sift's guidance, and there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, a wrap of the day's top business stories from the authority in New Zealand business news since 1970, nbr.co.nz. It's Wednesday, August 25th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. New Zealand's Commerce Commission remains the only hurdle to at least combining EROAD and Cortex. And they're not taking competition clearance for granted. After announcing the merger in mid-July, structured as EROAD's $188 million cash and scrip acquisition of Cortex, their clearance application was filed on August 20. It concedes the merged entity's New Zealand market share exceeds the Commerce Commission's concentration indicators, with EROAD, the number one local player in trucking fleet management technology, joining the sixth largest player, Cortex. Further details of their respective positions are redacted from the public application document. The government may need Pfizer to over-deliver on vaccines between now and the end of September to ensure all those entitled to their COVID shots in the next 5 to 6 weeks don't miss out. Although daily vaccination numbers have been regularly hitting record highs since lockdown began a week ago, there have been widespread reports of people having appointments cancelled at short notice and postponed until after September or unable to be rescheduled at all. Appearing before Parliament's Health Select Committee on Tuesday afternoon, COVID Response Minister Chris Hipkins was asked by ACT Party leader David Seymour whether he agreed with the Prime Minister's comment to media yesterday morning that New Zealand did not need more vaccines. Sky TV says it expects to see revenue growth for the first time since 2016 next year, a fact it says suggests the Auckland-based company's transformation strategy is beginning to bear fruit. However, in annual results announced today, revenue for the broadcaster and content aggregator had fallen 5% to $711.2 million, but EBITDA had gained 14% to $186.4 million, and net profit after tax was up 130% to $47.5 million. Agribusiness Scales Corporation has reported strong results for the 6 months to June 30, fueled by the lockdown pet craze, higher apple prices and the advantage of owning a logistics arm. Horticulture is its biggest earner, exporting apples to 50 countries. Today it reported after-tax net profit of $32.6 million, up 17.5% from $27.8 million for the first half of 2020, off almost the same revenue. Meridian Energy earned 15% less from generating and selling as increased costs bit into sales on both sides of the Tasman. The listed generator retailer posted earnings of $729 million for the year ended June 30, 2021, down $124 million on the previous year. Revenue of $4.3 billion was 26% more than the prior year, although Meridian's costs increased nearly 40% to $3.6 billion. The company's domestic energy margin fell 11.4% to $994 million, while Meridian Energy Australia's margin dropped a fifth to $97 million. Sky City's full-year profit dropped 33% in its results for the 12 months ended June 30, released to the NZX this morning. The casino operator posted a $156.1 million profit, down on $235.4 million in the previous financial year. Revenue was $713.2 million, up on $641.7 million in 2020, but lower income and greater expenses from the New Zealand International Convention Centre fire and higher income tax, among other things, contributed to the slightly lower profit. Sift Technologies has used its half-year guidance to once more make the case against aggrieved former chief executive and current significant shareholder Doug Hastie, who wants back on the board. Current chair Al Monroe has hit back in the company's guidance announcement, blaming Hastie for cost and cultural issues and saying it had planned to commence a formal review on him before his resignation. Yesterday, Sift, a spin-out from Canterbury University, whose shares trade on the unlisted securities exchange, announced it had received $20 million in orders in the first half of the financial year commencing April 1st, 2021, with more than a month to go in the half year. It said the figure compared very favourably with the $28.8 million revenue received in all of the previous financial year. CEO Alex Fowler told shareholders that the busy order book meant Sift was back in growth mode. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, in this week's politics column, Brent Edwards looks at accusations that the Prime Minister is acting like a dictator, while we talk with Christian Hawkesby on the impact of lockdown on the Reserve Bank's forecasts. I'm Paul Brennan. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow from around lunchtime for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time, same place, right here from 5:30 again tomorrow for another NBR Today.